I welcome you to the second part of Bisa Wood Services software. The system is going to teach you how to make the sales, payment, and other necessary stuffs. So without wasting much time, I'll log in into the system with my credentials as usual. So you also have to log in with your credentials. Once I am logged in, as I said earlier, this is my dashboard. So I'll just go straight into my sales. Now, sales, customer records, whatever is being done here under the sales management. If you want to view your customer history, you come to customer report. It will load all your customers for you. Once all your customers are loaded, you can search either by their name or by their telephone number. So if I enter 024455, so you see it works. Now if I enter SPU, you see it also works. So you can search by either the name or by the contact number. Once I click on the customer details, I'm able to fetch his name, his contacts. Then I can view his records from a period to a period. As simple as that. Okay, now if I want to add new customers too, I can go straight ahead and add new customer records over here by clicking on create new customer. Once I click on create new customer, it's going to take me to the customer page where I'll enter the customer name, his telephone number, the category, and the address, and I'll click on add. So I can also add customers from here. Alright, now let's look at customer messages. Now, once you subscribe to our messaging system, you'll be able to have the chance to send messages to all your customers or some of your customers, depending on what you want to do. So if you want to send to a specific customer, you just click on the customer record, then you send the person a message. If you want to send to all your customers, you just load all your customer details, then you select all. Okay, so the selected customers, which is the first 10 selected customers, so you can send message to them. If you want to select multiple, you view more, then you select more, then you'll be able to send these selected customers message. Thank you. Now let's go into sales. So for us to sell, we have the retail and wholesale system. Now the retail system allows you to sell to individuals who are just making purchases on one item or at retail price. The wholesale allows you to sell based on wholesaling price. Now it is the same actions which are being done at the retail, which will also be done at the wholesale. So it applies, whatever is being done at retail applies at wholesale. So now if you deal in both wholesale and retail, you can use these two panels. Thank you. Now let's search for a particular item. So you see, instead of meat board, I entered board meat. You see, but it's so will come. So now, once I click on the item, I'll see the remaining quantity on the shop or in all my branches, depending on how you configured your system. Then I'll see the selling price. I can go ahead and order a quantity. Now watch what will happen here. If I enter 5, you see it tells me that the remaining quantity is 95. Now once I sell, you see it has reduced from 100 to 95, and it has been added to cart. So what is cart? This is cart. Where you find your sales table, that is what we call your cart. Cart shows you the items that you have purchased over time. It's as simple as that. Okay, so now let's search for the next item. And you can also use the down and up arrow buttons to select an item per search. So upon finding the item's name, so FMS dashboard. Okay, so the person is buying 14. Now once I press enter, it sells and it comes back to the search, and I'll go ahead now. After I have sold these items, for example, if I made a mistake somewhere and I want to take it out, for example, let's say I want to take this Motocraft product out, I'll just select the item and I'll click on delete selected sales. Once I click on delete selected sales, the Motocraft has gone back to add to the stock. So you see, first we sold 2, it was 13, now the 2 has been added back and it's 15 now. Okay, so once I am done with everything, I'll just go straight ahead to my customer and select or search for the customer who is making purchase or is buying these products. Now if the customer doesn't exist in our record, all that we have to do is just enter or create the customer's records for the first time, and take note that the fund they get, it cannot be less than 10 or more than 10. It should be exactly 10, because no telephone number in Ghana is more or less than 10. It's always 10. So we can straight go ahead and enter. And you can also create a default customer. Alright, you can also create a default customer. 0244110099. Good. The address, default customer. But if you want to take the default customer is those who are walk-ins and do not want receipts or anything. But I think it is advisable to always print the customer's name and telephone number so that you can send them messages. It will be very nice to do that. Now once I click print sales, it will automatically generate according to the selected printer. Now once you select the printer, scroll down, make sure it is paper roll this and the margins are minimum and these 2 boxes are unchecked. Once you are done, I am zooming in for you to see how the receipt will be like. So now once you are done, you can just go ahead and click on print. Once you click print, it will automatically detect your printer and print out this nicely designed receipt. Thank you. Now let's say for instance you made a mistake or there is a returns which has to be done. Now what you have to do is you come to where you sell your product, you go to sales draft, you load the invoice, whether it is today, whether it is last week, whatever. Then you load invoice. Now once you load invoice, it's going to load the invoice number. The invoice number is for you. Note, you cannot return a product without the invoice number. You cannot return the product without the invoice number. Once the invoice is loaded, you can straight go ahead, click on the invoice and load. So you see, you get sales data loaded successfully. Now let's say, for instance, this is not the invoice that I want to load, but rather this. If I click on this and I click load invoice, this is what will happen. Print out the current invoice first. Why? Because there's data in here. So in order to clear this data, I'll go back and I'll click on clear. Then I'll go through the process again. So I'll load invoice, then I'll click on the invoice, then I'll load my sales. Alright, now there is going to be a small update here, small changes here, so hold on as we make the changes and see how the new changes is going to look like. Alright, so now let's look at the new update. Now the new update of the sales draft allows you to see the person's details, customer name, product, quantity. So this will be easier for you to locate the product that the customer wants to return. Now note that sales draft can only be accessed by the administrator or the manager of the firm. So if I want a week's record, I'll go to a week, load invoice. You see, it will load all invoices for the past 1 week, and I can search by either the invoice number, customer name, product name. So now if I want to search, I'll just go ahead. So you see, that's the product name. If I want to search by price, that's the quantity. Sorry, if I want to search by total value, you see. If I want to search by invoice number, you see. Now once I am done, I'll just click on the invoice. It will automatically fill here and I'll load sales. Once I have loaded sales, I'll just come back to sales and delete or return the particular item. Now when you are done returning that particular item, you can continue and sell a new item. So if I want to sell a new item, and just go ahead, just enter it. So you see, and I can just go ahead and reprint the invoice. Good. So now once you are done with everything, note, once you do the sales draft and you load the sales draft, automatically to load the sales data plus the customer's details, then you can just go straight ahead and click on print. Okay, now once you get this error, that means there was something that didn't go well during the first sale, but that doesn't mean that's your record. You can reprint it. So now you can reprint this invoice. When you go to invoice view, then you see this is the invoice. I click on it, I click on print. You see, do you want to preview? When I click on OK, I can reprint this invoice. As simple as that. Alright, now if you click on this and it doesn't come, then that means there has been a pop-up block over here. So you can just click here and you can click enable pop-up so that you'll be able to have that and reprint it. Alright, so let's go back to sales again. Let's do it one more time. You search for the item. Okay, you search for the item. Alright, so let's get started. Okay, so 2, it will come back to the search. I'll search for the next item. I'll select, I'll press tab, enter the quantity, press enter. I'll search for the next item. Select it, enter the quantity, press enter. Now as you are selling, your total will display here. Once you are done, you can go back, search by the customer's telephone number or name. Once I select, it will fill. I click on print sale. I'm good to go. It will by default select your default printer that you use. Then you click on print. That's all.